Welcome to another video, guys. We've got testimonial time again, and we've got the lovely Adrian here who is going to talk to us about his story of recovering from ulcerative colitis through a plant-based lifestyle. Age has been through a lot, and I guess I'm going to hand it over to him soon, but I remember the first time we talked, you were in a hospital bed, and I was like, wow, what's going on here? And I'm sure he has a lot to tell you. But it's been an amazing, inspiring journey for him and for me, because to see people go from being sick to healthy, it's such an amazing feeling for you and for me as well, because I know what it's like to go through that. So I'm just going to hand it over to Adrian and just talk about your journey, because you were also vegan before you started, and I think it was 7 months or something being vegan. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
something like
just go for it, mate, and explain to the viewers what you went through.
Right, so my lovely ulcerative colitis journey started about, I'd say, 3 to 4 years ago now. It's been I live in the UK. I just all of a sudden started to have like digestion problems and just realizing my body was out of order. It took about 3 weeks first time to lose somewhere around 16, 17 kilograms. So it's pretty bad. The symptoms that I got from my first ever flare up were really bad. So I was then hospitalized for about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. Um, all the usual stuff: prednisolone, mesalazine, antibiotics, all the crap that comes with it. I have done that for about a year at the time, and after about a year and a half to 2 years, I got another flare up. Mild flare up, not that bad. By that time, I knew about Shakur and Shamiz, and I knew about their story and what they stand for and what they do. But I never had the courage to actually go and start um, actually taking this diet in and getting the health benefits that come with it. So I knew about them from the very beginning, but as the medication did their job, basically, I didn't think that I'm going to need any kind of diet because I was fine. So for about a year and a half to 2 years, I had like a normal diet that you would have, fast food, alcohol, anything that could get in is fine. That was good for me. So after my first flare up, I thought, okay, I'm going to try this by myself. So I started going vegan. Um, I did like shakes and smoothies and stuff like that for a few weeks, maybe a month and a half. I remember my symptoms got a bit better. After that, I started feeling a bit better. So I kept vegan, but eating like still junk food and all that sort of stuff. Like having being vegan, but having like vegan pizzas and chips and fried stuff and, unhealthy stuff. And then I got a really bad flare up. Like I got a very bad flare up. I lost about 14, 15 kilograms in about 2 weeks' time. I was hospitalized. In the hospital, it got really bad. I had blood transfusions. I fell down. I fainted. Had vasovagal secum about 2 times. Um, I was just really bad in a really bad place. And that's when I found Chico and Shamiz. And
I,
I mean, I remembered about high carb help, and I remember actually texting you desperately as I was in the hospital because this doctor had told me, look, mate, you need to get in a different type of immunosuppressant. It's that, and in about 4 or 5 years' time, we're going to cut your colon anyway. So, I mean, you'd better do this now, and this is what you're looking at. And I remember the prednisone at the time; it didn't do its job, so it was getting worse and worse and worse. And there was one thing I was actually doing. They kept feeding me just like steaks and meat and all that kind of stuff, but I refused to eat. So I was kind of fasting in my own way. I had maybe by 4 or 5 bananas in about 2 weeks' time whilst I was in the hospital. So I think that helped. And then I remember the day that I actually got a message back from Shamiz, and she was like, "Yeah, just book in like a consultation," and that's what I did. And the second day, we talked. I explained to him what I was going through. He told me, what he can do to help, how the process is going to go on. And, we hit it up from there. It was quite a
Yeah,
ride after.
yeah, it was, and it was.
I don't know if I missed anything or,
No,
but
I think that was a pretty good starting point. And I think one thing is that people do get quite scared. Especially when they go into hospital and they trust the doctors, and sometimes it is okay to stabilize yourself with medication if you are in a really severe state. But again, the idea is not to try and be on medication for life, and that's something that I don't think many people want to do. So, lifestyle change is really important, and that's the education that we obviously give. And so, you obviously had that consultation, and you were so committed and so focused to beating this disease and to really come out of it. That's what really, when you were talking to me, I was just like, oh, this guy wants it, and I'm like, I want it with
yeah,
him.
man, I knew
You
I
know,
wanted it. I was like, because I knew for it was almost 3 years now. I knew about you guys, and I was always like, I'll never have the time, like, to take out of work, like, take a few months off, just look after myself, nourish myself, just take this time off. I never thought I'll ever have the chance. I was actually thinking when I was okay, I was having really bad food, and I was having alcohol, and I was having all that stuff, and I kept thinking, I think there will come a time in my life when I'll have to do it. I don't know when. I wasn't thinking it's going to be like in a year or something, and it
yeah,
was.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so I
had to
guess
do it.
yeah, I mean there you go, and that's it's now or never, and it's also better late than never, because
Yeah,
when you change your lifestyle, you are giving your body so much nourishment, and you learn along the way how your body responds to these amazing foods that you're putting inside of it. Um, so cool. So it was a bit of a journey for you. It wasn't smooth sailing, that's for sure, because you have damaged your body from the
yeah,
past and eating foods that you probably shouldn't have, which everyone does, and it's part of culture, it's part of religion, it's part of everything, tradition, but we just are not informed. And so when we start to kind of change our diets, we understand that, okay, these foods are actually supposed to be good for me, and you go through what's called a detox process. And
yeah.
let's talk about the detox process with you and how you managed to
Right.
go through it.
So I think the worst kind of detox I had was when I was in hospital. Like, I remember so much blood coming out of me, man. It was just too much to bear sometimes. I remember
Mm.
even when I remember this. So I was on blood transfusion, and then they'd stop me, and then I would say, I need to go toilet. Just go toilet, poop it back out, come
Oh
back,
wow,
put more
wow.
blood in. So, but yes, after I got home, I was still on prednisone, and I stopped the mesalazine the second day because it's no point of taking a medicine that, like, side effects say you'll get bloody diarrhea on the side effects, like that. That, yeah, didn't make quite a lot of sense. The prednisone was kind of bad because it gave me all kind of mood swings, and a lot of change in my body came after it. So let's just say it like that. But I remember when I started having just fruits, it took maybe about a week to 2 weeks to feel a lot better. I kept having blood, but I had a lot less bowel movements. I had 3 to 6 bowel movements during the day, depending. It was difficult to eat, I must say, in the beginning. After I got used to it, obviously it went a lot easier. And after I had, more smoothies and started doing a bit of like boiled food, boiled vegetables, it went a lot, like a bit better. But I remember after, I think, was it about 2 months in, I didn't have any symptoms. I
Mm.
mean, maybe very, very little. And then the blood came back again. And that's when I kind of freaked out. There were a lot of moments where I actually thought that, oh, it's coming back. I'm going back there again. Hello, prednisone. How are you? You know. But I never lost faith, and it's good to have someone that when you're in that kind of state, and when all those bad thoughts start running through your head, and when you stop from your path that you were on, yeah, it's really important to have someone to talk to. It's really important to have someone to relate to, and someone that had the same issues, has been through the same stories, have seen other people go through the same things, and I don't know. I think, that's where these two guys could actually, help a lot.
For
And that's
sure.
what it is. Because I remember myself, yeah, so you could just go and read David Klein's book and you go and try and do it yourself. And I could have done that, but I probably would have stopped along the way because I just didn't know when you're good, when you're bad.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Adrian, he started getting blood in his stool again, and it wasn't as if it was a massive flare that you went through, but it was slowly coming back. And I think that's where you kind of got scared, and you're like, "What's going on?" And I said, "Look,
Hmm.
your body's just having withdrawals from the medication that you took, and that dose of prednisone that you took. So, it was coming out of you. You could actually see that happening. And so, we tweaked things here and there. We said, look, don't get too um, you know, stuck up on the food that you eat. Just relax. And we went through some phases of too much potatoes, too many vegetables, and it was awesome because you were
Yeah.
learning as you were going, and that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
that was the coolest thing. And I think in the end, we found a nice sort of stable kind of diet for you, and we stuck to that. And you did do some fasting in between as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
which was awesome because
Yeah.
it takes guts to do the fasting. Fasting is really good for you. I would recommend supervised fasting if you're doing it longer than a couple of days. But Age was really, he knew what he was doing, and that's the key. And he knew that, this is what the body does to heal itself. So he understood that, and that's why, he did it. And he's obviously, benefited from that. So talk about that little experience of the fasting that you did.
So the fasting that I did was I had distilled water for 9 days, and after the 9 days, I kind of broke the fast with just juicing for another 2 days. The first 2 days of the fast were very difficult, I must say. They weren't easy. You keep thinking about food, be it bananas, blueberries, or potatoes, or pizzas, or I don't know. You can just think about food. That's all you think about. And after those 2 days, then you realize, or that hunger is not there anymore. The cravings are not there anymore, and you feel more energized. That's what I felt at least. So it went like that for about 6, 7 days. Towards the end, and I think this is because I didn't have a lot of weight to start with. Throughout the whole process, I must have lost between 9 and 10 kilograms. But I remember exactly on the seventh day, I had a very solid stool. And I was like, what's going on? Where? Where from? I had I had just been drinking water for the last, 7 days, and there I was one day having, like a solid stool, and it wasn't just a little bit, yeah, it was a proper solid stool. So I think that helped a lot, obviously. Um, as you said as well, supervised fasting is the way to do it because you do get into like getting a little bit dizzy as well, and finding that throughout the day you've got a lot of energy, then you might not have as much, and obviously you're coming from a place where you're not very nourished in the beginning to start with. So it's not like someone that is all good and fine and has a fasting experience than someone that's been in hospital, been having troubles digesting stuff, had gut problems, they would fast. So yeah, but I think it was really good. I would have done it for a lot longer, but I had to go back to work and I had to go in back to a normal rhythm work. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, and I think it's again it's a learning curve for you to understand your body and read the basically the information and the the science behind that. And when you do that, you realize that okay, these things are actually good for me, and especially with the reintroduction of food as well, you have to be careful and not go too much into one thing, etc. So
obviously, yeah,
you did all your research, which was good, and I think
yeah.
that was the main
So I
thing.
kept focused the whole entire time by watching other people do fasting. That's what you do. You got YouTube, which is this beautiful tool that you can, you've got this vast knowledge everywhere and a lot of people sharing their experiences. And that's what I did. I was fasting. Whilst I was fasting, I was looking at other people fasting. So that's how it
Correct.
works.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not that difficult.
yeah. So, all right, let's keep going, and obviously, you finished your fast and you started getting better, and you started
Yeah.
feeling a lot better. And talk about, I guess, post healing phase, and how you came out of that, and what was your experience, and then also,
So
yeah, go for it.
if you remember, after the fasting, I had a few days, maybe 2 days, of a lot of blood coming out of me. So I had a lot of blood literally after I started eating. So I had the 2 days of juicing. So I was juicing celery, I was juicing grapes, apples. I had blood for a couple of days and then it just stopped. And more or less that was it. I had starting introducing bananas slowly, smoothies, a few dates here and there, obviously some potatoes back, and a few other like steamed veg, and it was fine. But yeah, the blood came back after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was a reason. There was the reason for that is because your body had done so much healing during the fast that it's just like, right, let's get rid of this. All right. So how is your life now, and what do what tell the audience how amazing it feels to have a life after colitis, and yeah, just what's your experience now? How are you feeling?
So, as I was saying to you as well, I feel that I'm more in control now. Obviously, I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress, and it will ever be. But I feel that, and I keep saying this: if I want to have 4 bowel movements a day, I know how to have 4. If I want to have one, I'll have just one. It's literally what you eat. You learn how your body will digest certain food. I know everybody's different. Everybody will digest differently. I kind of know myself. I don't know into what percentage I know myself now, but I know some of it. So yeah, I've got a good base to start with and like to build on it. But um, I normally use the toilet maybe twice a day, maybe 3 times. If I have more than a smoothie or two throughout the day, if I have more than one meal of fruit a day, um, I can have a lot of cooked meals. Obviously, you need to pay attention in the way that you're cooking it and how you combine them. Um, I have no blood. I have no mucus. I don't know. I feel fine. I feel good right now. I had a bit of detox going on, and I had a phase where I had massive spots all over my forehead, and yeah, quite a lot of them actually. I had some issues with water retention as well, but they seem to have faded away, and I've got no issues now anymore. As I said, it's a work in progress, but I feel that I had really good people guiding me, and I know I'm on the right way.
Yeah, for sure. And why do you choose to live this lifestyle as well? Why do you choose to eat this way? I mean, maybe give us some examples of why you want to do this.
I would never, ever, ever want to take medicine again like before. Honestly, that the medicine that I took before is, I don't know. It's not like normal medicine that you take for a disease or anything. It's steroids, it's immunosuppressants, it's stuff that messes you up. I still have issues from the last time I took prednisone, and I remember the last time I took it, for example, I had these mood swings and I had all the stuff going on. I had more hair growing on me, for example. I had pain in my testicles. I had all sorts of issues that are just not worth it. If you know there were these nice people that came and just said, look, you just have to eat certain foods and treat your body in this kind of way and not have to deal with that drama anymore. And I was like, fine, of course. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's up to the individual, obviously, and how strong you are.
Yeah,
And,
exactly. And not only, the medication, I mean, you've got the environmental side of things. We're obviously destroying the environment
yeah,
by eating animals or raising animals for food. And I think you're quite involved with that as well. And I think your diet is, doing less harm to the world
yeah.
and,
I'm not.
and
I'm not harming anything anymore. That feels pretty good, to be honest. Yeah. Obviously, when I started all of this, that wasn't in my mind, or that wasn't the goal. But it's a good bonus. Yeah, let's call it like that. It's a
definitely,
good bonus.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. You feel good of like when you feel that you're promoting something like that, which is good for the environment and good for everybody else, and you're leaving a good footprint after yourself.
For
So
sure.
that's really good as
Cool.
well.
All right. Well, any last words for anyone that's watching this video? What would you say to them?
Right, look, guys, it's up to everybody what kind of decisions they want to take in regards to their health. Some might have a severe case of this type of disease and disorder, and well, not disease and disorder, but you know what I mean. But and some might have milder symptoms. I think that if anybody has been given the chance to just not take any more medication anymore, they should at least try. There's a way of doing this controlled, and it's with these guys. So you'd get help throughout the way. And, obviously there's experimenting with yourself as well. With Shakur and Shamiz, you'll find that, you got support throughout the whole length of your journey. So I think that's really important. And you got someone to relate with as well. And I don't know, it's easy when you speak to people who have the same issues, right? We can talk shit all day, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's where the relationship comes in, because it's
Yeah,
hard to talk. It's hard
exactly.
to talk about that kind of stuff with other people, and I guess
Yeah,
I've been through it, so I'm not embarrassed about it. And talking to me, you shouldn't be embarrassed as well, because it's a very
yeah.
natural thing, and we're trying to get to a goal, which is to be healthy. And if you tell me everything that's going on, then I can help you with that. So no, that's awesome advice, and I guess. I wish you all the best, buddy. And when I come to UK, I'll definitely come visit. And if you ever come to New Zealand or Thailand, please, come visit me
Yes,
as well. And
eventually.
thank you so much for sharing your story, because I know that there's people out there that these are really helpful for them. And here's another person that's taking control of their lives through a whole food plant-based diet, and that's amazing. And I wish you all the best again, and good luck for all your future endeavors. And take care.
What can I say? Thank you very much. You've been great help, and I'm sure we'll keep in touch one way or another somehow. But yeah, guys, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a fabulous job. You're doing a great thing. You're on the right path. What can I say? I hope the future brings great, beautiful things to you guys.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And
No problem.
take care, man. All right.
Cheers. See you.